With the Banlist out, and Harpy's Feather Duster at 1, I thought it would be about time to revisit the deck that I talked about a few months ago. Invoked Dogmatika. The Invoked engine is very simple. We have 3 Alistairs, 3 Meltdown, 2 Invocation, and 1 Terraforming. This should be very familiar to anyone who has either played with or against Invoked. Meltdown will search out Alistair, Alistair will search out Invocation, and Invocation will fusion summon. And Invocation has the added bonus of putting itself back in the deck and putting Alistair back in your hand for next turn plays. Or if your fusion monster is going to be outed by an opponent's monster in battle, you can use Alistair to give that fusion monster 1,000 more attack and defense. For Dogmatikas, I run 3 Ecclesia, 2 Maximus, 2 Fleur-de-Lis, 3 Servants, and 1 Punishment. Ecclesia not only summons herself, but she searches out any Dogmatika card, except for herself. Maximus allows for the Shadow Extra Deck engine to function in the way that it does, and Fleur-de-Lis is a negate as long as you have another Dogmatika monster on the board. Servant is a nice search card, and it contributes to the aforementioned Shadow Extra Deck engine. Punishment is a form of monster removal, and if you send the Tis off its effect, it becomes 2 forms of removal. Now I do run a small Shadow engine in the main deck, in the form of Beast, Dragon, Squamata, Fusion, El Shadow Fusion, and Schism. Beast is just more draw power, Dragon is another form of removal for back row, and Squamata allows me to send either one of these 2 depending on what I need at the moment. Fusion is really nice for when I go second, or if I just so happen to draw 2 Shadow monsters. And El Shadow is really nice for when I've already used Schism and I have a construct on board, but I need to go into Winda. And Schism allows me to fusion summon during my opponent's turn by using monsters in my graveyard, and it's also another form of removal, non-targeting by the way, of an opponent's monster is the same attribute as the Shadow monster that I just summoned. As for hand traps, I run 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Impermanences, 3 Gammas, and for that I need 1 Driver. Gamma basically replaces Call by the Grave for when I'm trying to search out something, but my opponent has Ash Blossom. Or if they're going second, I can negate something on their turn as well. Plus, if I activate this on my turn, I can Synchro Summon into Omega and take something else out of their hand. But Gamma is not a full replacement for Claw of the Grave, hence why I still run the 1, because it's still really good. On to the last 3 cards of the deck, I run 2 Triple Tactic Talent and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Tactics is either a Pot of Greed, Forceful Sentry, or a Change of Heart. And Harpy's Feather Duster, well, it destroys all your opponent's spells and traps. Onto the extra deck, I have 2 Mechaba, 1 Purgatrio, and 1 Agoides. Mechaba is Negate, Purgatrio is OTK potential, and Agoides is removal on summon, or once per turn when your opponent special summons. Onto the Shadows, I have 2 Constructs, 2 Winda, and 1 Apkalone. Apkalone searches out Schism, no matter how it's sent to the graveyard. So preferably you would use Maximus to send Apkalone and Titanclad to the graveyard, and you would search out Schism and send any other irrelevant cards from your hand to the grave, for cost. But sometimes you have to use Nadir Servant to get to Maximus in the first place. In that case, you would send Apkalone off of Nadir Servant, and then you would add in Schism and then immediately discard it. And then when you activate Maximus, you send the Titanclad and Construct instead. And Construct will add back Schism so that you don't lose hand advantage. And Winda is a nice floodgate. As for the rest of the extra deck, I have 1 Titanclad, 1 Alamirage, 1 Secure Gardena, 1 Cyframe Omega, and 2 Natis. Titanclad can either summon or add something during the end phase, allowing for some end phase shenanigans with Ecclesia and Fleur-de-Lis. Alamirage and the Secure Gardena allow for 1 card Mechaba, and it also helps out Maximus from getting out of the hand. I've already discussed Omega, so I'm not going to discuss it again. Natiz is a form of removal, and it's a target for Nadir Servant, Punishment, or Maximus. And lastly, for the side deck, I have 3 Drone Lockbird, 3 DD Crow, 3 Nibiru, 3 Evenly Matched, and 3 Dark Ruler No More. As a simple combo for the deck, we're going to activate Meltdown. Meltdown effect to add in Alistair. Normal summon Alistair effect to add in Invocation. Link off Alistair for Al Mirage. And then we link off Al Mirage for Secured Gardener. Activate Invocation, fusing these two for Invoked Mechaba. And then Invocation in the grave will add itself back in the deck and add back Alistair. Now that we have an extra deck monster on the board, we can special summon Ecclesia. Ecclesia effect to add in Maximus. Maximus effect to banish Al Mirage to summon itself. And then Maximus effect to send both Titanclad and Al Capone. Al Capone effect to add in Schism. And for the cost, for demonstration purposes, we're going to send Driver. And then we set Schism, End Phase, Titanclad to add in Fleur-de-Lis. On to some test hands. I shuffled up the deck. Hopefully pretty good. Every single time I say that, it seems like the deck screws me somehow. So we draw into Meltdown, Ash Blossom, Gamma, Maximus, and Impermanence. Okay, so for once, the draws didn't. Anywho, so activate Meltdown. They chain Ash, we chain Cyframe Gamma, and special summon it and Cyframe Driver. And then we continue on with our play to add in Alistair. From here, we might as well as a Synchro Summon for Omega. Omega effect to banish itself and banish something in my opponent's hand. Maybe an Nibiru or an Impermanence or something else. Continuing on with our plays, we normal summon Alistair. And we search out Invocation. Link. Al Mirage. Link. Secured Gardener. Invocation. Mechaba. And Invocation in Grave. Add back. And add back. I don't know why I was in my graveyard. Ignore that. And then Maximus effect. Banish Al Mirage. Special summon. Maximus effect. Then Titanclad and Al Capone. Al Capone effect. Add Schism. I think in this instance it's better to discard the Alistair. That way we can either activate Mechaba or Ash Blossom if we need them. Plus, we can use Titanclad in the end phase to add in Fleur-de-Lis. So if we end up not needing Fleur-de-Lis at all, we can discard her off of Mechaba instead of the Ash Blossom. And we set these two before we add this, by the way. Next hand, we have Nadir Servant, Infinite Impermanence, Shed All Fusion, Shed All Fusion, actually, Alistair, and Infinite Impermanence. Okay, so, we normal summon Alistair. We know where this is going already. Eventually we get to a state like that. Add those back. So now we activate Nadir Servant. Send Apcolone, add Maximus. Apcollone's effect will go off to add in Schism. I think what's going to be better in this instance is to discard the El Shaddai Fusion. Now we activate Maximus, banish Al Mirage, summon itself, Maximus effect, send El Shaddai Construct and Titanclad. Construct will go off to add back El Shaddai Fusion. And then we set all 4 of these cards. In the end phase, Titanclad, special summon Ecclesia, Ecclesia effect, add in Fleur-de-Lis. So, we can use Schism on my opponent's turn to banish both Apcolone and Titanclad to summon the Wunda. And just sort of leave that on the board until the end phase. activate El Shadow Fusion. Use these two for Construct. And then one day will go off, and then Construct will also go off. Add that back. We're going to send the Dragon if they have back row. Because if we do that on their turn, they don't have a chance to activate it during our turn. That's the important part. Reshuffling the deck again, we have Ash Blossom, Magical Meltdown, Ecclesia, Squamata, and Magical Meltdown. Meltdown, we know where this is going. Alistair, Invocation, Alamirage, Secure Gardena, Mechaba, add, Ecclesia, Maximus, Apicalone, Titanclad, Apicalone's effect. This is where it's a little different. Add Schism. Now, we discard Squamata. Squamata's effect will go off to send a card. The card we're going to send is Shaddoll Beast. Shaddoll Beast effect will go off after we reshuffle the deck to draw a card. Our new card is Shaddoll Dragon. Cool, so if we need to negate something on my opponent's turn, we can discard the dragon, and if they have something set, or something is on the board already, we can just use Dragon's effect to get rid of it. And then obviously set that, and use Titanclad to search out Fleur de Lis. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more videos just like this, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you may find me. I'm on pretty much everything at this point. My name is Brent, I am Maxed Out Weird, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.